Ah, what a cool card. Just awesome, man. What a cool card. And oh, hey, what are you what are you doing here? Don't don't you know this channel has been kind of dead for like I think a year now? I don't really make videos no more. Are you still waiting for me to come back? I'm kind of done, I don't really do that no more. I kind of focused on other things in life, just living life. And oh, I made a video recently, really? Let me see. Check on my computer here. Oh, yeah. I did make a video telling you guys that I'm back. Huh. I kind of forgot about that. Well, I guess since you're here, well, first off, you probably was wondering what I was looking at here. Let me show you guys here. I was looking at my cool Fuecoco card. It's a graded 9. That's right. It's not a popular, graded company, but hey, it's still Fuecoco. Fuecoco is probably one of my favorite. Oh, oh, you're not here for Pokemon. Okay, let me just put this somewhere else. Well, hey, you know, man, it's been a minute since I've done this. I guess we should just start with the video. You probably saw the title. I probably have a title somewhere in this video, I guess, of what I'll do here. But well, as always, before we get into the video, there's just one thing we have to do. Let's hear that intro. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another What's Next on Basketball YouTube video. I am your host, as always, Jeremy, and like I said, it's glad to be back. Man, it's been a while. Like I said in the beginning of this video, low-key, I kind of missed y'all. It's definitely cool, coming back and just finally making some videos for you guys. As of me recording, we got about a couple days left until the NBA season starts for the 25-26 season, so, there's some big things going on. So, as always, that I've done for I think every year since I've had this channel out, I have done actually, did I do one last year? I'm not sure if I did one last year. I cannot remember. I'm sure I'll put it like somewhere on probably on this side here if I ended up uploading a video. But I usually do this video. It's just doing my predictions for the NBA stand-ins. So I'll be predicting the East and West and who's going to go to what seed from first all the way to 15th. So I don't think this video needs to be much self-explanatory other than that. I think it's pretty simple to understand how this all works. So yeah, we're just gonna get started right away here. The first, we're gonna go to the Eastern Conference. So I'm gonna start going from 15 all the way up to the first seed, and just giving you guys a quick explanation. Some teams, I have like a lot to explain as to why I put them there. As for other teams, I really don't have an answer for. It's just I put them there because there was nowhere else for them to go. So you're going to see a lot with most likely the bottom teams, some teams in the middle. You'll be like, oh, I might just give one sentence as to why I didn't. So yeah, that's kind of what it is there. But for sorry, I had to fix my chair there. But 15th for the Eastern Conference, I have the Brooklyn Nets. So I believe the Brooklyn Nets are probably going to be the worst team this season, not just in the East, but just overall in the NBA league. I don't really see them doing much. I know they did get Michael Porter Jr., and a lot of people have been, you know, making jokes about him joining the team and some of the stuff some of the stuff he's been saying online. But overall, it's like they just drafted, what was it, like 5 rookies? The only one I really know is, I believe his name is Egor, and I actually call him Eggman And I guess I'll explain why I call him that in a quick little story. Basically, me and my friends, we play a lot of 2K, and we like to do the like user created NBA drafts. So we were doing one for this year's team before the draft ended up happening, and I ended up drafting Egor. And I was just like, man, he needs a cool nickname when he was on my team. So I was like, I'm gonna call him Eggman. He seems like a guy whose nickname is Eggman. So throughout this season, you're going to be hearing me calling him a lot. So I just want to clarify that in case a lot of people are just like, why are you calling him Eggman? But yeah, he's probably the only guy I'm honestly really excited for when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets. I see this as another year where they're going to try to rebuild. I like some of the young talent they have, but again, I don't really see them doing much. 14th, I have the Washington Wizards. So the Washington Wizards ended up getting, I believe it was Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum. Let me check as well who's on this roster here. I probably should have had that up already for you guys, but yeah, they don't really have much going on this team. Like I like Corey Kispert. He's actually low key one of my favorite role players. They got like Cam Whitmore. They have Bilo. Uh I don't know how to say that guy's name, but I believe it was the guy that ended up being like he was like Victor Wembanyama's teammate. I don't know how to say his name, but yeah, well, you guys can look it up yourself. This team overall just looks not that great. So I don't really think they will be a team that will be competing in the East, which which kind of sucks, honestly, because this is probably the best season for any team here. All the teams I'm gonna be talking about, any of these teams, this is the year to really, really try hard because honestly, for the first time in I don't even know how long, it really feels like it's anyone's game when it comes to who is going to be the first seed, second seed, third seed, and so on. There's really no team that truly, truly is guaranteed to get this spot or this spot. It's anyone's game, as I said. So it kind of sucks with these teams when it's like, man, this is like not the year to be, terrible. And I don't really know what is going to be offered for them in the NBA draft. I don't really follow college as much as other people do. So not really sure where they're really going to be going for, but hey, you got Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum. So for Wizards fans, maybe that's something you're excited for. We'll move on to the actually put my mic up a little bit higher so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Um what I'm like talking to here. Because if you don't, then you just see me I'm like going down like this and I just look stupid. But anyways, let's move on to the 13th seed. And for the 13th seed, I have the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, I really expect this to be the season where they finally blow up the team. I know I've been saying it for, I think, like 2 years now of like, oh, the Miami Heat need to blow up this team. They need to blow up this team. This team's not going to really do good that more. And now that Jimmy Butler left, he went to the Warriors, which was really cool for the Warriors last season, and they actually ended up having one of the best records in the second half once they got Jimmy Butler. So I'm very curious to see how that team will do now with Jimmy in a full season. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This isn't about the Warriors. For the Miami Heat, I believe Tyler Hero is going to miss, I think, a couple months, might be a couple weeks of the season. Bam Adebayo, they still have. They still have Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Aware. I believe Jaime Jaquez is still there. Nikola Jovic, I think is his name, is still on that team. But overall, there's really nothing I'm looking at when it comes to this Miami Heat team and anything I'm really excited for. This should really be the year where they finally trade Bam, trade Tyler Hero once he comes back healthy, and just fully lock in on rebuilding this team. I don't know who they want to build it around, if they want to do with Jaime Jaquez and Kelly Ware, maybe Nikola as well. But whatever they decide to do, I think it's finally time to hit that reset button because what is it called? The heat culture? The heat culture is just not there no more. There is no culture. You need to fix things right away or you will stay in the bottom for a very long time. In 12th, I had the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls were kind of a difficult team to rank because I don't really know where to put them. It's like they have guys like Kobe White that I'm very excited for, but then they have guys like Nikola Vucevic where I'm like, why is he still on the team? So yeah, they were definitely a weird one, and I was just like, well, you're going 12th because I don't really know how to where to put them and what to say about this team. They're just kind of like in this weird just area where it's like, are they really good? Are they really bad? I have no idea. So, yeah, that's really all I got for them. 11th, I have the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets, I like a lot of their young guys like LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, I believe is his name. I think it's like there's a center they have. I can't remember his name right now, but I also like him as well. Mark Williams. I believe his name is Mark Williams because I believe he was the guy the Lakers were supposed to get and then they didn't get because of certain reasons. But, so they have a team that could be fun. And honestly, they could, out of the bottom teams that I put here on my list, they are probably one of the teams that I could see potentially be a dark horse team and maybe go a bit higher than I expected. Because again, they have a fun young team that I think could end up getting maybe a 7th seed, an 8th seed that we'll see in the play-in. But again, you just don't know what's going to happen in the East. So I'm going with my gut and just looking at it on paper. And I think the Hornets are just going to barely, because I have them as the 11th seed. So I think they're just going to barely miss the playoffs. And maybe they just need one more year before they fully can be a competitive, that's not even a word, a competitive team in the East. Now, that was the bottom 5, guys. So now we're going to move on to the play-in teams. So the 10th seed, I actually have the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum being gone for basically most of the season. There's rumors that he's going to try to come back around like I think it's February, March, basically when the playoffs start. But by that time, I don't think they're going to be a top seed. I think they'll be good enough that they'll make the play-in, and then that's a whole different story if Jason Tatum comes back as to how they look in the playoffs. But I'm only talking about the regular season today. And for the regular season, I think they will just not do great. You're looking at a team where Kristaps Porzingis got traded. He's over in the Hawks. Drew Holiday, I believe he got traded back to the Trailblazers. And then it's like, oh, all that's left is Jaylen Brown, Payne Pritchard, and Derek White to kind of lead this team. Even Luke Cornett is gone. I believe he went to the Spurs. So it's just like this team kind of looks really, really weak right now. And if there's any year where it's time for the Celtics to just take a break, use this as kind of just a wasteful year, just a year to rest some guys and figure things out, I think this might be the best season. Now, again, I think they will be good enough to make the play-in. I will not discredit Jaylen Brown, who has shown many times to be at least up there when it comes to current NBA players in the league right now. He's at least top 20. There's a reason why he got paid. There's a reason why he got Finals MVP. So I won't discredit him. Maybe he can lead this team to an 8th seed, maybe even a 6th seed, guaranteeing them a spot in the playoffs. But until Jason Tatum comes back, I don't really see them doing really good. For the 9th seed, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Milwaukee Bucks, I think this really should not come as a shock to anybody. Some people might even have them lower than what I got. But I think when you have someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo, did I see even? Yo, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, please don't leave the video. I promise. This is me just coming back. I swear I'm a professional, and I've done this for like 2 years now. Just bear with me here. I gotta put my chair up again. But okay, like I was saying, when a team has a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo, you really can't just count them out. You can't say that they're just gonna lose, that they're not gonna go to the playoffs because it's Giannis. And they also have Miles Turner as well. Low key though, when you take those two out, the team looks really, really bad. But I think Miles Turner and Giannis will be good enough to at least get them a play-in spot, which is again where I see them. And I don't know. It's really weird for the Bucks. This is a year for them where they really, really have to try to just do good because if you don't do good, Giannis is probably leaving. I know in the media recently he's been giving more and more hints to him potentially leaving, which would suck because I do like Giannis on the Bucks, and I think it would be kind of weird seeing him in another jersey that's not the Bucks. Now, obviously, there's rumors of teams he might go to. You got the Warriors, the Lakers, the Miami Heat. You got I've even heard some rumors of Toronto, so I don't even know what's gonna go on there with Toronto. And then obviously the number one report, which apparently Giannis said himself is the team he's most interested in, is obviously You see him right here. You see the RJ Barrett jersey. He is interested in the New York Knicks. Um, Obviously, for those of you that don't know, maybe you're new, this is their first video seeing me, which if that is, hey, how you doing? My name's Jeremy. I like making basketball videos, so hopefully you subscribe, give me a like. It helps a lot. Trust me, more than you think. But I'm a Knicks fan, and I've been a Knicks fan ever since Carmelo Anthony joined the team. Now, I did take a break for a little bit when Melo ended up leaving, but I've watched long enough for honestly me having a good opinion in this situation. And I'm gonna be honest, I would love to have Giannis, but not for trading him. If he's a free agent, hey, I'm more than willing to go after him, see what we could get for him, as long as it's not a lot of money. But I don't think this is the year to trade for Giannis. I've seen a lot of trade talks about, oh, should we get Giannis? Should we trade Mikal Bridges, who I know is a player a lot of Knicks fans have been up and down on, for Giannis, which, a lot of GMs are gonna be like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. Me personally, I don't think that is the right way because I feel like this team has a really good shot of making it to the NBA Finals, which there will be a Knicks video coming out. It probably won't come out till maybe a week after the NBA season starts, but I do want to make a video about my thoughts on where I see this team potentially going. It's very exciting being a Knicks fan right now. It's super awesome. If there's a team that you guys really want to watch that's not obviously your main team, I would highly recommend the Knicks. It's going to be a fun season. We got a good squad, but I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, they again are just a team that besides Giannis and Miles, this team is kind of trash. Like no disrespect to the players, obviously they're more better than I am, but we have to be honest with ourselves. Is this a team that's going to win a championship? No. Is this a team I could see making the play in? Potentially, which is why I got them ninth. I don't think they'll be any higher. I don't think they'll get a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, but I think this will be a year that really determines the future for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I hope they do better so he stays, but most likely that's really not going to be the case. For the 8th seed, I have the Indiana Pacers. So, yeah, um, obviously, the Pacers have been a interesting team for me being a Knicks fan, and obviously it really, really sucked what happened to Tyrese Halliburton. And I just want to say, I know a lot of people are different when it comes to injuries and when players get hurt. I am not one of those people that is like, yes, I'm so happy so and so got hurt. This is gonna help my team do better. I'm not that guy. No matter who you are, even if you're a rival team that I absolutely despise, it is never fun seeing a player get hurt. So seeing Tyrese Halliburton get hurt in the NBA Finals when they really, really had a good shot at winning Game 7, which I think we'd have been talking about the Pacers very differently if Tyrese was still in that game. It sucks, and I don't think he is gonna come back at all this season. I believe they said he's done. They're not even gonna try to bring him back. I think there was maybe one report or two where they will throw it in the air, seeing how his health is looking and where they are by the end of the season. But it looks like most likely he's gonna miss the whole season. So with that being said, the reason why I have them as the 8th seed is because I still like Pascal Siakam. I still like Benedict Mathurin, Andrew Nemhard, Obi Toppin. Who's I'm missing somebody. Ben Shepherd is kind of cool. I feel like I'm missing somebody like really important to the team. Obviously, it sucked losing Miles Turner, and that might potentially be a huge missing piece for them as well. So they might actually do worse than where I have them. But I think they'll still do good enough to get the 8th seed. Again, there's not really much competition going on in the East, so I don't see this as a very difficult spot for them to get. But that's really all I got to say for that. So moving on to the 7th, Bruh, I'm getting cooked in the chats. Y'all can make fun of me. I don't even care at this point. But moving on to the 7th seed, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, you guys, if you've seen my channel, you've been watching my videos a lot, you know my thoughts on Joel Embiid and the Sixers. Like I said, I don't wish any injuries on anybody, not even Joel Embiid himself, which with the history of him in New York, some fans might disagree. I don't wish any injuries on him. When he's on the court, he's one of the best players. Now, I make jokes about it all the time, about like, oh, he's a fraud, which I when it comes to basketball, I will say he's a fraud. And that's as far as I'm going to go, is just his basketball life. I'm not going to try to go super deep into his personal life because that's just not cool. But as a basketball player, I think he's a fraud because many, many times he shows like, oh, he wins MVP or he's MVP caliber. He's going to lead the Sixers to a championship. And then they don't even make it past the second round. So why exactly do I care about the Sixers? And once again, I don't really care much about them. I don't see them as a threat. I don't see them as a contending team. I don't see them as fan favorites of winning the championship. I don't see them as anything because this team is just bad. And I like Tyrese Maxey. I like Paul George. VJ Edgecombe looks like he's going to be very fun. I'm very happy with Quentin Grimes and his success last season and how that went. But it's not enough for me. If you simply, I'll put it like this. Until the 76ers can make it to at least the conference finals, I'm not going to take them seriously. So that's why they are not going higher. Some people might be like, why would you not have the 76ers at least a fourth seed? Because I don't think they're a fourth seed team. If a fourth seed team to me in the East is a team that has a good chance of making the conference finals, and I just don't see that with the 76ers. They're just, I just don't like the team. It's like, Embiid, great regular season player. I know he's gonna have some what's the word I'm looking for? Some limits to like back-to-back games and how much minutes he plays just because he's getting older and you know how it goes with players that are on the bigger side, taller side. They just start getting hurt and injured more. They're more injury prone, which really sucks for his career because he did have some good years where he was awesome. But I I just don't think they're going to do that great. Now we move on to the top six. These are the six teams that I believe will get a guaranteed playoff spot. Number six is the Raptors. A lot of people are going to be very shocked that I have them this high. Some people are going to be like, why are you putting them this high? The Raptors are probably one of the most mid teams of all time, which I actually disagree with. And no, it's not because of RJ Barrett. Well, it's about 50% the reason because of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, but I have good reasons as to why I put him as the sixth seed. So just please listen to me. So I think the Raptors have one of the most underrated starting fives heading into the season. I really like what it could potentially be. You're looking at a starting five or what? The point guard is probably going to be Emmanuel Quickley, shooting guard. I don't know what position Brandon Ingram plays. I think Brandon Ingram plays small forward, so I would assume maybe RJ moves to the shooting guard, or maybe it's Brandon at the 2 and RJ at the 3, and then I would assume Scotty Barnes at the 4, and then Jakob Poeltl at the 5. Wherever they are placed, I know for sure that's their starting 5, and low key, that is a awesome starting 5 to have. Emmanuel Quickley, great shooter, great playmaker. He overall is just a guy that will really help elevate your team. Brandon Ingram, a great all-star, superstar type player to have on a team. Now, I don't know how he feels about being to Toronto. I know he played a couple games last season, but this will be the first season where he's fully on the Raptors, and we'll get to see how he meshes well with all these players. Now having basically the whole summer to get to know everybody. RJ Barrett, you guys know how I feel about RJ Barrett. He's my guy. I loved RJ in New York. I thought he was going to be the guy to help us win. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but hey, I will always root for RJ. I actually need to get a RJ Barrett Raptors jersey. I only have his Knicks. Vince Carter is actually the only one here that I have for Raptors, and it's actually my favorite jersey. This is easily top 5 jerseys for me. I would turn it around, but I don't feel like putting it back. But for those of you that don't know what that jersey is, that is the purple jersey where in the front it has like the Raptors logo. It just looks so clean. If you don't know what jersey I'm talking about, I'll probably put it like around here. It's a great jersey. Highly recommend checking it out. It's one of my favorites. But back to the Raptors. So the Raptors, they're just a team that I think with this year could really, really be a dark horse team and kind of sneak their way to a 6 seed. Their starting five is great. Brandon Ingram, like I said, is an awesome superstar player to have. Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes has shown to be a superstar potential player, and it seems like his ceiling is just going to keep going up and up. And he could really, really be the next franchise player for this team. Scotty Barnes is awesome. I know there's a lot of jokes around Scotty Barnes in the NBA community. I won't say it on here, but you guys know what I'm talking about with the memes. And he's just an awesome player. And Jakob Poeltl is low key one of my favorite centers. He's not like top 5, top 10, not that crazy, but he's a fun center to watch. And yeah, obviously their bench isn't that great, but I think this is a team where their starting five could just carry the team for the whole season, honestly. And they also have Grady Dick. Grady Dick, awesome player. I hope he does really good this season for the Raptors. And maybe he could get a starting spot from someone like Brandon Ingram or RJ. I highly doubt it, but it seems like Grady Dick is looking for a 6-man season. So, hey, maybe a 6-man player of the year is in his future. But moving forward from that, we are now moving on to the top 5. So the top 5 here, I'm going to be honest with you guys, these are all teams where I feel like these are the guys you're looking at as to like they could make a conference finals appearance or even an NBA finals appearance, or even they could win the whole thing. Some of these teams maybe not as much, but that's the level I'm going with this top 5 in the East. Number 5 is the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic, man, they have just been an awesome team. I love the Orlando Magic. I've been loving them since I got back into the NBA. It was during like the 2020-21 season. And ever since, I just love the team. And then they got Paulo. And when I saw Paulo drop 50 points and then get taken out of the summer league because they said he was too good, he was so good in summer league that they said, "Yeah, we're just taking you out because there's no point in you being here." I was like, "This team's gonna go crazy." Paulo is one of my favorite players in the NBA right now, and I'm so happy seeing the success him and the Magic are getting. I feel like this is a team that really deserves to just have a lot of success because, with their history of like Shaquille O'Neal and Tracy McGrady and Dwight Howard, it's just, I really hope we get to see a championship in the future for this team. And I think this year, they are definitely one of the dark horses when it comes to title contenders. Number 4, I have the Atlanta Hawks. It kills me to put them this high, but I feel like you cannot deny the great pickups they got this season. Now, I will admit, there is a fair point to make where they might not mesh well in the first year. They might do bad because you got a lot of new guys that all need to figure out how this lineup, how the game style, the gameplay is going to work. Because now it's Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Kristaps Porzingis, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Um, there's another important guy that I'm missing, but overall, this Hawks team looks like they're going to be a pretty intense team to deal with. I think they're going to be way better than a lot of people may think. I think this might be the year where Trae Young finally gets the help he needs. I believe I heard a report that he might have not re-signed yet with the team, so this might be kind of like the make or break season for Trae Young as for if he's going to move on to a new team or if he will stay with the Atlanta Hawks. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. Number 3 is the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, I feel like this is a no-brainer here. Detroit Pistons is a really, really fun team to watch. I know they're already dealing with some injuries, which is unfortunate, but I feel like it's not going to be enough to really change my mind when it comes to where they will go. Cade Cunningham, um, one of the Thompson twins, I don't remember which name it is. I'm sorry, I don't know which one it is. I know they're both twins, and I always forget who is who, which I apologize for. Of course, you guys know who I'm talking about. I'll put his name somewhere here, but that's the Thompson twin I'm talking about. You got like Ron Holland. You got what was his name? Uh, Jalen Duren. You got guys like that. That it's just like, man, they did so good last season, way better. Like you're talking about a team where it was like 2, 3 seasons ago. Ended up, I believe they broke the record for like the most losses in an NBA season, if I'm correct on that. At least most in a while. It uh it was a crazy time to be a Pistons fan, and then when Pistons fans always never get in a top pick, they always somehow miss getting a top pick. Now we finally see them as the contending team as they were always meant to be. Obviously, everyone knows about the 90s teams, the bad boy Pistons, the team that won in the early 2000s. You have there was like another good team, I think in the 2010s that were kind of fun. Like obviously you had like Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose on the team at one point. Now they finally have the guy in Cade Cunningham, which we all knew he was going to be a superstar, and he finally has a good just team around him that really could contend. I believe we all saw the series last season with the Knicks and Pistons. I think if they would have had Isaiah Stewart, and I think Jaden Ivey was another guy they missed, I think we would have been talking about that series very differently. Potentially the Knicks getting out in the first round. It was that different of how, the series would have been if they had those players. So much respect to the Pistons. I think they're going to do very well. I think Cade will be looked at as the top superstar this season that I think he deserves to be. And yeah, that's really it. Number 2, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think much needs to be said about this. They're easily the top 2 team in the East. I think they're going to do great. Donovan Mitchell's on that team. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. They have Lonzo Ball as well. So they're a team that you just got to be careful for. I think they're going to be one of those teams that's going to be really good in the regular season, but not as good as who will be the first seed. And definitely no bias whatsoever towards this. This is 100% without any bias. Number 1 is the New York Knicks. Again, I will make a video on the New York Knicks and where I see them going. This team is just wow. I am so excited for this season and where it goes. I really hope we get to see all these players play throughout the whole season. Um, man, just Brunson, Cat, Bridges, OG, Mitchell Robinson. You got the new additions of Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson. There's that one rookie I believe we drafted this year. I believe his name is Mo. It looks like he'll be getting some good playing time. You still have Tyler Kolek. You have Ariel Hukporti, who I'm very high on. I hope he gets a lot of minutes this season. Well, maybe not a lot, but a good amount as like the backup big, hopefully. There's just Miles McBride as well is going to be fun to watch. This is just a team that if your team's not playing one night and you just want to watch basketball, see if the Knicks are playing because any game is going to be fun. With the new addition of Mike Brown as their head coach, it is going to be a fun season. I am a little bit worried about their defense since Tibbs was a very big defensive minded coach. I wonder how much that will impact of someone Mike Brown, who's more of the offensive side of the game than defense. But I have no doubt in my mind that they will at least be a top 2 seed in the west. I said West in the East. It's just gonna be fun, man. I think Brunson's gonna have a really good season. Cat, I think will have another good season. It's it's like everyone's honestly saying this is the season for the Knicks to really go win it all, honestly. If they don't win it this season, then I don't really know when they'll have a better opportunity. The East is wide open. There is no other team, any team, even the Knicks, that I feel like are guaranteed. I don't even think the Knicks are guaranteed. I'm just saying this is their best opportunity, but there is no team without a doubt that is the best team in the East. Obviously, as a Knicks fan, I'm biased. So I'm gonna say the Knicks. But in reality, there really is it's anyone's game. That's really all it is. So that's the East. We're like 30 minutes already into this video, so I apologize for the video being long for those of you watching. But hey, this is the standing predictions, and this is what you're here for. You're just hearing me to, talk, ramble. We're just here to have fun and just talk about these teams and how they're gonna either make our lives amazing or miserable. So we're going to move on now to the West. I'll go a little bit quicker with these guys because a lot of these guys I really don't have much to say. But I will say one thing, this was really difficult figuring out who's going where. Even now, with me recording the video, there are still some teams where I put them where I'm just like, was that the right spot for them? Maybe I should have put them here. I should have put them there. I I'm not the most confident where I have everybody, but this is the list I'm going to go with. So at 15, I have the Portland Trailblazers. I think they'll be the second worst team in the league. Don't really have much to say. Damian Lillard came back to the Portland Trailblazers, but I don't believe he's going to play any minutes this season because I know he was also hurt with an Achilles injury, which really, really weird NBA playoff run where we had, what was it, 4 or 5 guys go out with an Achilles injury. Really weird. It's not something the NBA can really fix, but I don't have much to say about the Trailblazers. I think they're going to be the worst team, and that's really it. 14, I have the Suns. This is pretty obvious as to why I have them there. KD's gone. They have what? It's Booker. I think Bradley Beal is still on the team. They have Jalen Green. Come on, man. Like, are we being for real? Does anyone really think that the Suns are going to do great? This is a team that's just, yeah, it's over for them. 13, we have the Utah Jazz. I really like Ace Bailey. I like Lauri Markkanen. And that's that's really it. I think Ace Bailey might have a good season playing with the Jazz. I think he's going to do a lot better than some people might think. I did hear he had a good preseason, but I don't really watch the preseason as much because I feel like with the preseason you have to take it with a grain of salt with some of these players. But I heard he did really well, so that's awesome to see, and I'm very excited to see what he does. At 12, I actually have the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are a really just team again, like with, I think it was like with the Miami Heat I was saying earlier in the video, where I just really don't know where to put them. They're just a team where it's like, I don't really see them as a championship team, and but I also don't really see them as like the worst team, but it's like I don't know where to put them, so we'll just put them at 12. 11, I have the Kings. I really like that they got Russell Westbrook. I know they have right now was DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, um, Domantas Sabonis. They're a team where I think they could sneak their way into the play-in, but I'm not really going to count on that. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would not bet the Kings on making it to the play-in. I think they're gonna miss another season. And yeah, that's really all it is. So now let's move on to the play-in teams. At number 10, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans Pelicans look like another fun team. Honestly, even though I had them at 10, I think they're going to do very well. The rest of these teams from 10 all the way to 1, I think are all going to be very, very good teams, and you're really going to see the difference as to what their record looks like compared to the East. To basically sum it up as how good I think the Pelicans will do, if the Pelicans moved to the East, I think they would have easily been a top 5 team. That's how good I think these teams are going to be. And I think the Pelicans are going to do great. Zion looks in great shape. You have, who are the guys they had? Do they still have Jordan Poole? Were they the ones that traded for Jordan Poole? I think they traded, what was it, like CJ McCollum for Jordan Poole? Let me check here real quick. Yeah, they have Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Herbert Jones. They got Missy as their center. They got Jeremiah Fears. They got some good guys that I feel like they could potentially do better than where I have them. But I'm just gonna play it safe and say that they sneak their way to a 10th seed. Number 9 is the Clippers. You guys know how I feel about the Clippers. I think it's one of those teams where every year, even I myself made a video on it, which is like, I think my 3rd best video on the channel, 4th best video, where I thought the Clippers were going to be great. And then every year they show us why they're not the greatest because they keep selling in the playoffs. So I'm putting them at 9. They are the UNC team this season. So we will see what happens. Number 8, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers, I would have had them higher if it wasn't for the report of LeBron being hurt till like, I think they said late November. I think that's really going to hurt them for more so later down the season. because it's not going to look as bad. But when we get to closer to the season being over and we see how close the standings are for the West, those games from early on the season that would have been a win are going to be looked at as like, man, if only we won those games. And I think that's where the Lakers are going to end up being. Obviously, I like Luka on the team. I like LeBron on the team when he comes back healthy. Rui Hachimura is fun. Austin Reeves is cool. I do like the addition of DeAndre Ayton. I think he's going to end up playing a lot better than I think a lot of people think. I don't think he's going to drop like 20 points or anything like that, but I think he's going to be a way better center than we have seen in the past. Number 7 is the Dallas Mavericks. They have Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, Kyrie whenever he comes back. I think he's another one of those players that he might miss the whole season, or we won't see him until near the end. So we'll see what happens there. But they still have Klay Thompson. They have D'Angelo Russell. They have Daniel Gafford, I believe, still. Derek Lively. They're a team that can do great. Now they could sneak their way to the 6th seed or 5th seed, get a guaranteed playoff spot, but I have them as a 7th seed because I just think these other 6 teams are better. And speaking of the 6 teams, let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors made some good pickups with Al Horford, obviously Seth Curry, who then got waived, but he'll probably come back later in like November when they can be able to afford him. I like Steph Curry. I like Jimmy Butler. Draymond Green can be cool. Jonathan Kuminga is awesome that they were able to get him back. Moses Moody could be a lot of fun. I don't remember his full name, but I believe his nickname's like Pods. He seems like a really fun shooter that could help the team a lot. So, like I was saying earlier in the video, they ended up having one of the best records in the second half of last season. So now having a full year with Jimmy Butler, I think we're going to see some interesting stuff from this team, and I think they will be good enough to get that 6th seed. Number 5, I have the Timberwolves. Nothing much to say here. I think they'll be good enough to get a playoff spot. And I know they didn't make much changes this off season, but I don't really think they really needed to. I think it was just one of those seasons where, hey, they just couldn't get the job done. We move forward, we figure out what we did wrong, and just run it back. So, yeah. Number 4, I actually have the Spurs. I think the Spurs are going to do a lot better than a lot of people may think. Some people might say that I'm getting ahead of myself, putting them top 4, but Victor Wembanyama is just so good. I really like Dylan Harper. I really like De'Aaron Fox. Let me just, I'm going to show you, well, not show, but I'm explaining to you guys right now what this roster is looking like. I feel like they could potentially have a season like the Oklahoma City Thunder did last season. Now, I don't know if they'll win a championship, but this is a good team. We got De'Aaron Fox, which I'm not sure how long he'll be out for. I know it's showing right now that he's out. Hopefully not for very long. That's just me on my casual side right now because I actually don't know when he comes back. We have Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, Victor Wembanyama. You have Jordan McLaughlin, Dylan Harper, Julian Champagne, Jeremy Sochan when he comes back. I know he's also injured. Luke Cornett, like Kelly Olynyk is also on this team. That is right there a pretty good rotation when they're all back and healthy. I think they're going to be able to get that 4th seed. I really do. I think Victor will be able to lead this team to a 4th seed. I think they will be looked at as a dark horse team heading into the playoffs. San Antonio fans, just enjoy the ride because I think your guy, where is he? I think your guy right here is gonna just go crazy this season. And they keep talking about how he keeps gaining height. I don't know where he's getting all this height from, but where's my height? I'm like 5'7", bro. Can I get some of that height? I'm still pretty young myself. I'm like 22, bro. Dang, I'm 22. I just said that out loud. That's crazy. I'm getting old. Never mind. Give it to the young guys. I don't need it. Never mind. Moving on. Number 3 is the Rockets. The Houston Rockets, with them losing Fred VanVleet, I'm going to be honest. When I first heard the news, I was just like, oh, okay, Fred VanVleet, who really cares? That was really my honest reaction. But then I saw their team and realized, oh, he's actually pretty important. So I think that will hurt them losing Fred VanVleet. where I think they'll end up going down to the 3rd seed. Now, it doesn't mean that they'll lose and they won't have a good playoff run. I just think they won't get that number 1 seed or 2nd seed that a lot of people think they will. I like KD. I like I think it's Amin Thompson is on the Rockets. Really like him on the Rockets. I like Sengun. I was very happy that they traded Jalen Green. I feel like he really was just that guy that was weighing them down for a team that just was ready to move forward and be competitive. Unfortunately, Jalen Green just did not hit that level that they were hoping for, which is very unfortunate because this kind of just proves a lot of people right where some G League players maybe not be as great as people may think, where a lot of players like him who are really big on just his highlights, it's not all about highlights. It's what you actually do in the game. It's about how good are you at basic fundamentals of basketball, which I feel like he kind of lacked a few times here and there. No disrespect to him. Like, obviously, he's better than me. I'm just being honest. Clearly, there was something missing for them to trade you. And it's not to say that you'll never get that. I think having an opportunity with the Suns will be very good for Jalen Green. I think he'll end up realizing, like, okay, there are things I need to change. And hopefully he makes those changes and does better. But as for the Rockets, that was a great piece to trade away. I think Reed Shepard will be their point guard heading into the season, unless they sign somebody that I don't know. But should be a good season for the Rockets. At number 2, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder are obviously your reigning champs heading into the season. They had a very, very historic season, did some crazy numbers with like Shea, Chet, Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein, um, Lou Dort. I don't know if I already said his name, but Chet Holmgren. It What a crazy team. Just honestly, overall, just wow. Great season by them. Obviously, I had some videos in the past talking about how I see them as a future NBA, championship team. And they finally did that. I'm very happy for them. Congratulations to them. And do I think they could go back to back? I think it's very possible. I think they have the team to really do that. They have a lot of guys that are still very young. I think they still have another year or two before they need to start re-signing guys and figuring out what's the next step. Shea is looking awesome. Could have another great season by him. And yeah, just I'm happy to see what they do this season. And obviously, some people might be shocked that I don't have them number 1. And that's because I have this team at number 1, which is the Denver Nuggets. They are another team where I'm looking at them and I'm like, wow, they made some great moves this offseason. Obviously, they traded away Michael Porter Jr. to get back, if I can load it here, to get back Cameron Johnson. I think that's going to end up being a very underrated trade that a team did this offseason. Cameron Johnson is an awesome player. Obviously, when he played for the Suns, he was awesome. Now that he's back on a team being a contending team, I think this is going to be very scary. Very scary. The starting five, just to let you guys know, the starting five for the Denver Nuggets is point guard Jamal Murray, shooting guard most likely Christian Braun, small forward Cameron Johnson, power forward Aaron Gordon, and obviously at center you have Nikola Jokic, with their bench being Bruce Brown, Julian Strawther, Payne Watson, Jonas Valanciunas, Tim Hardaway Jr., Zeke Naji. You have Jalen Pickett, who I know very little about, but I know he's had some good moments here and there. Some good moments, not that many. But just a team overall that could do really, really well. Um, I I really think they will be the best team in the West this season, which is saying a lot for a West team that once again for another year looks like it's just going to be a bloodbath with who goes where. I think we're going to have another season where it's going to go down to the wire as for who goes where, and I'm all excited for it, man. I always love seeing these teams compete in the regular season and just making the regular season worthwhile. It's always fun to see that. But yeah, that's really it. So that was my 2025-2026 stand-in predictions. Please let me know down in the comments how you guys thought about this video. Obviously, looking at this here, this video is probably gonna be almost like 50 minutes or so. So yeah, my bad on that. But thank you guys for watching. Again, sorry for being gone for so long. I really needed that break, and I am now finally ready to get back into it with the new season. I hopefully will be able to upload another video or two before the season starts, maybe. But throughout the season, I'm going to try and make some cool videos for you guys. Just overall, my goal is to make fun videos. I will try to post all about news stuff that's going on, but it won't be my main priority like it was in the past. I would like to bring back stuff like big basketball news, but we'll see. I don't want to put too much stuff on my plate that I know I won't be able to get done for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So, peace.